Alrighty guys, welcome back to some more Trails Beyond the Horizon. Last episode we finished up Van's route number 4, learning that the vestiges were in fact in Anchorville and were operating out of the underground hospital. And so, after we met a brand new character that is implied that both Van and Agnes know who they are, as well as the female soldier potentially being a Jaeger that Fairy has some sort of connection to, we ended up defeating them with the help of the Sword Hermit, and went ahead and moved on to the selection of the next route, where in this episode, we finally get to hop back into Kevin's story, for Kevin, route number 2, Exposed Sin. But before that, if you guys do like this video and this series, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It'll really help me out, and it'll help make sure you don't miss any upcoming videos. With all that out of the way, let's get into it. I am so happy we finally get to hop back into Kevin, route number 2. Don't get me wrong, I like Van. Playing as Van 3 times in a row, though, I needed a little bit of a break, and Anchorville gave me that because it wasn't Edith, but still, I'm very excited to be hopping back into Kevin. Let's do it.
Let's get inside.
Yeah! Rain! Oh, my merchandise.
Don't see this every day.
The evidence found beneath the Basel Observatory is irrefutable. The hour of arbitration approaches. Seeing as both Father Leon and Mother Celise have decided to act of their own accord, however, I doubt I've any need for concern. But if you find yourself in a similar mindset, leaving you unwilling to perform your duty...
No, I'll do what needs to be done. No real reason to worry about them either. They're dominions. They can't turn their backs on their stigmas.
While I'd like to believe this issue limited to just the two of them, I'm not entirely convinced. In any event, I have said all that needs saying. I shall await your final judgment. Keep your guard up, Father Kevin. You're likely to meet with interference in the coming days.
Yeah, understood.
That was the grump from Iscariot, right? The vice captain?
They're heretic hunters. I take it that means there's been some movement over in Basel then.
I think I heard him mention something about a fight there too. Against Celise, Leon, and a few outside forces?
The Thor's alumni, perhaps. I believe they're in Basel at the moment as well. But as for why such a clash took place, well, I assume the answer lies in whatever secrets they found beneath the observatory.
Guess there's a benefit to keeping a bunch of busybodies around. Saves me the trouble of having to explain everything. Jokes aside, though, you're right on the mark. Iscariot's investigating the matter as we speak, meaning I still can't say anything definitive. But just know that her crimes didn't stop at Tharbad. She's been deceiving the whole of Zemuria.
Deceiving, huh? Not really a word I wanted to hear.
I think you can stop dancing around her name already, though. We all know who you're talking about. One of Professor Epstein's 3 disciples. And Katra's grandmother, no less. She even personally helped us out during the Crimson Grendel incident. Professor Latoya Hamilton. She's the heretic you're charged with hunting down, isn't she?
Yeah.
I had assumed that was the case, but it is nonetheless shocking to hear you admit it.
Is it? Can't say I knew her very well personally.
Quite shocking, yes. You see, the three disciples are some of the most influential figures in Zemurian history.
Railroads, airships, orbital vehicles, communication devices, weapons, even the manufacturing industry and the orbital network. All foundations of modern society, only made possible through the work of the three disciples. And while it's true that Professor Epstein established the blueprints for these creations, his pupils were the ones to turn concepts into reality. Of the three, Professor Russell's work has focused largely on orbital technology, and Professor Schmidt found his niche in the military. And then there's Professor Hamilton. Her research has centered primarily on environmental issues, and she's used it to help people the world over. Whether it's improving Northumbria's soils, aiding against both the desertification of the East and the deforestation of the Central East. Well, she's done all that and more, which is why so many view her as something of a heavenly mother. Honestly, I feel it was only a matter of time until the church had her canonized as a saint. About that. Wasn't quite sainthood, but the church likes to award septium crests to those who have worked to maintain peace and prosperity in Zemuria. We've tried giving her one a few times now, but she's always turned us down. And I can probably guess why, too. Yeah, must have known her actions weren't exactly award-worthy. I think I'm starting to understand why this was so surprising to everyone. But the church has already decided she needs to be executed, right? More or less, yeah. Her fate's not exactly set in stone, but things definitely seem to be headed in that direction. So, what do you kids want to do? Though I doubt I even need to ask. You're right, you don't. All the heretic stuff aside, we want to figure out what she's up to anyway. Yeah, especially knowing that the church is involved. That's like always the first sign of trouble for Zemuria. And we can't turn a blind eye to trouble. But that doesn't mean we're committing to the mission till the end. Don't mind lending a hand for a bit, though. Oh, and no worries. I totally won't stab you in the back or anything. Okay, note to self. Watch your background, Nadia. But seriously, thanks for the help. I'll be counting on you tomorrow. For what? Are we going investigating again? I thought we found everything we needed already. Oh, but I guess there is still that thing they were talking about at the end of the memory.
After all, the way things are now is all due to the unforgivable deception I performed. I replaced what should have been with an observational outcome of my own.
Anyway, you still where I think you are, Professor? I'll head over now.
Thank you. And by the way, I'd like to return to Basel within the day, if I can. I'll open the path once I know you're near.
I imagine they must have been referring to the location where she initially performed this reality shift. Perhaps somewhere more conducive to the feat itself.
Yeah, well, wherever that location is, the church hasn't had any luck finding it either. So tomorrow we'll be splitting up to look for clues on our own. Business records, eyewitness testimonies, anything to get us where we need.
I was gonna suggest we get a head start tonight, but that storm outside's looking pretty bad. Doubt it'll be letting up anytime soon.
Actually, according to the recent forecast, the rain should be subsiding in the next few hours. Around 10 p.m., I believe?
Hopefully that means it'll be a little cooler tomorrow.
So, the rain's gonna be clearing up soon, huh?
I see someone's planning a little late-night excursion. Well, as I said before, I'd gladly join you.
Wow. Are you serious right now?
Oh, are you finally going to that strip club thing you mentioned?
Maybe you should cover your ears, Lapis.
Look, it's not like I'm going for no reason, all right? Remember Sarah? Apparently, she's gonna be performing as a special guest tonight. Figured it'd be rude if I didn't show up. You know, to support her.
Okay, now tell us why you're really going.
Because I haven't seen strippers in ages, man! Oh, I'm gonna get front row seats so I can tip real big!
Thanks, that's all I needed.
Because I haven't seen strippers in ages, you set me up? Who are you even planning on sending that to? So I can tip real big!
You're the worst, Kevin. Just wait till Ein hears about this.
How the hell do you know so much?
And just for the record, Sarah will actually not be stripping tonight. Instead, she'll be performing in a one-woman burlesque show.
A difference I'm sure her agency likes to stress. Well, just try to come back before midnight, okay?
And make sure you bring back some tasty treats.
I always have to remind myself, this game is rated T. This game is rated T. This series is rated T. I actually had to double check after, I think it was 2 episodes ago. I was like, let me just make sure real quick after some of the subject matter they're talking about. Nope, it is still rated T, so... I guess it doesn't use, like, crazy profanity, and there's no, like... I don't know if they ever show blood in this entire series. It's very seldom if they do. And usually it's just, like, stains. It's not, don't actually see it. Kevin, you're not front row like you said. No, hey, Jack. What are you doing here? Oh, Allie found out. I didn't know Swin wore glasses. The next day, Kevin and the others rose bright and early to start their investigation anew. By focusing their efforts on finding info about the construction that took place 20 years ago, they had hoped to find a more concrete lead. Just as they'd foreseen, however, their search proved little help. And so it is the next day, the same day as Van's, meaning tomorrow is the rocket launch. I think, right? Yeah, it's in one day. Was it launching on the 12th or the 13th? I can't remember. I just know it said one day till launch.
Don't get me wrong. I'm still a loyal to loyalies kind of gal, but man, her moms are giving them a run for their money.
I feel so soft and loose. Wonder why. because my pores are open? Or at least I think that's what they're called.
Rosenberg Tech is really something else, huh? But you're right. Feels like the steam's cleaning out each and every one of my pores. Bet my skin will be so dang smooth after this. S is gonna fall for me all over again.
Sounds like things are going great with you two. Oh, and he seems like such a catch. I'm so jealous. Wish I could just pick up a boyfriend from the store or something.
Yeah, well, I guess he is pretty great, huh? But come on, you work with movie stars, Hina. You must meet heartthrobs all the time.
I mean, yeah, but our agency gets pretty fussy about dating and all that. Plus, some actors are like totally different people behind the scenes. Yeah, no fateful encounters for me. But my sister, on the other hand...
How many times do I have to tell you? Van and I aren't like...
I knew it. Had a hunch ever since Van introduced you to us.
Huh. What's going on with Sarah and Van?
Nothing. Don't worry about it, Lapis. He has more than enough people vying for his attention anyway.
Oh, come on! He seems like the sort of guy who likes making things harder for himself.
Isn't that the truth? He's like the perfect fusion of all the ways guys get on my nerves. And don't even get me started on those hobbies of his. Anyway, I'll admit I might be rooting for a few others in this race, but that doesn't mean I can't lend an ear to a girl in love now, does it?
Nadia, please.
You know, as jealous as I am of Arkride, I'm starting to feel kind of bad for the guy. Yeah, well, they're not wrong about how he likes to make trouble for himself. He shoulders way more than he should. And now he's dealing with trouble in the capital once more, as if the events of the past few months weren't enough. Although, admittedly, our situation is rather complex as well. Heh, no kidding. Didn't think we'd have so much trouble finding a lead. It's kind of strange that nobody seems to remember, honestly. I mean, I know it was 20 years ago, but... the best we've got so far is someone saying they saw the professor come to town with a bunch of engineers around the time of the drought. And after a month of observation, the water levels began to rise, before finally turning into the oasis we see today. Seeing as there was a budget estimate for construction, there must have been an actual work site somewhere. That was the only thing they documented about the construction, wasn't it? Correct. Due in part to the fact that costs were made more modest than anticipated. Neither the city nor otherwise involved parties thought it necessary to concern themselves with the details. Everything seemed well in hand, after all. I guess that's not so surprising. I mean, it'd be one thing if they went over budget, but under? Heard folks were pretty much dancing in the streets because of it. The leftover Mira was apparently used to kickstart the entertainment district, which in turn led to the founding of the film festival. But as for how the irrigation work managed to keep so far under budget in the first place, nobody knows. Outside of Professor Hamilton and the handful of engineers who assisted her, that is. Well, looks like we've got our objective for the afternoon, especially now that we know for certain she visited last year. Yeah, if we switch out our bait, we're bound to catch something. Just in case our luck takes another deep dive, I put out a request for a few tidbits of extra intel, too. Oh yeah, you met up with Jack at the club last night, right?
My word! I never thought I'd run into you here, Miss Rain.
Your Highness? And Najee, too. Wow, I didn't know you guys were in Tharbad.
We only just arrived via airship, actually.
It's been quite some time, Miss Rain. And it's a pleasure to see you two as well, Miss Sarah, Miss Shahina.
We're here for a meeting about the new film I mentioned yesterday. Oh, that reminds me, actually. Don't you two also have a meeting soon? About your Central East Homecoming show?
We do, yes. I'm still finding it a bit hard to believe, honestly. It's where we immigrated from, so I guess you could call that a homecoming too, yeah. Nadia, who are they? Oh, that's right. You haven't met, have you? Well, to start, one of them's a real deal princess.
Oh, you're simply adorable. I'm Jita Oswald. Princess of Elsheim. And you must be Miss Lapis. I've heard all about you, you know. Although, you're a bit taller than what was described to me.
Yeah, there's been a kind of a lot that's happened since then. Zeta and Naja, what lovely names. I'll give Zeta 93 points and Naja 91. 2 high scores?
Oh, I'm honored.
You're too kind, Miss Lapis.
The Princess of Elsheim in her guard, huh? Talk about crazy timing. What's up? Given each of our unique circumstances, I'm afraid we're in no position to be speaking with the royal family of Elsheim at the moment. At least, not without proper preparation first. Rather inconvenient, isn't it? You got that right. And considering the princess's brother was involved in what happened in Basel yesterday. Swin, Rufus, mind calling the girls over? Probably best we get out of here. Just tell them it's time to grab lunch. All that steam left me positively famished. It did wonders for my taste sensors, though. They feel more precise than ever. Mutton kebabs and hummus. Rustic, but with a delicate flavor. That sounds so good. And a supplement, a cold mint tea. Perfect for cooling down with. Not often you eat so much, Nadia. Yeah, all that walking we did really worked up an appetite. Well, eat your fill, kiddo. Anyhow, about this afternoon. We're gonna need to do a few more 4SPGs. Might help us with our recon. Don't see a problem with that, especially now that we actually have Van's permission. By the way, how about how we're doing this? We want to limit our search to learning about what Professor Hamilton did here in October, right? Exactly. Considering how unlikely it is we'll be stumbling under the construction site anytime soon, we need to switch tactics. And thanks to the conversation we saw in the memory, we already have a good lead. Our goal right now is to pinpoint where she was when she was talking to Dingo last year. That alone should bring us the true nature of her crimes. We get there one way or another. As the heretic hunter, I swear to you that. Alright, understood. By the way, those gamblers from yesterday were looking into what the princess had been up to, weren't they? Correct. We asked Jack to investigate her for us. A risky endeavor to be sure, but considering the connection between the professor and Elsheim, one worth taking. Oh, right, because she helped them with their afforestation project. Okay, everyone ready to get to work then? You bet. Any leftovers you can... You cleaned your plate? Figured you'd be used to this by now. Thanks for paying, by the way. Delish. You had better keep your wallet ready for snack time this afternoon, too. Just you wait. I'll have tried all of Tharbad's finest cuisine before the day is ever done. That should prove a wonderful stimulant to your optimization. Feel free to have whatever you please. On his Mira, of course. You guys are downright ruthless. Kevin can now use his new S-Craft, Spears of and Loa. They also get their lightweight outfits. I'm so excited to try his new S-Craft out. I had said when we went to the garden, I was really hoping he got it. And I didn't think he was going to because we didn't get it at the time. Spear of and Loa. Honestly, I think I'm just going to use his character skills to try to get it up to at least level 5. That's so cool. All right, and there we go. So we are now level 41 with our characters. I believe they just started a higher level. If we go check out tactics, we can compare that to, well, how did we go to, it was tactics, right? Okay, there we go. We can compare that to Van's team, who is 46. So we're starting about the same level that they ended off on, which is nice. So we'll be at a good point.
An appetite.
So,
Keep yourselves hydrated.
as we know, first thing we need to do is we need to go hit up the Grim Garten to get that S rank, as well as the other Memento Orb we're missing. But first, we're gonna go ahead and run over to the other district, the Entertainment District. I don't think this is gonna start us on anything. I'm pretty sure we have like actual things we need to go do. We're coming over here because we will have the new equipment that we can buy for this team. Gosh, I'm so excited to be back into them. Don't get me wrong, I'm only gonna be playing as Kevin probably again, but still cool.
Huh? This crowd wasn't here earlier.
Oh? Is that who I think it is?
How'd Maxim get here already?
Ladies and gentlemen, in anticipation of its release next month, the film Perfect Driver Zero is now holding a collaboration with Maximum Energy. And to speak on this collaboration, we have here today the stars themselves, Maxim and Aslan!
Hello, my angels! I've been looking forward to seeing you all today.
It's an honor to be here. I hope you guys are as excited as I am.
You're amazing, Aslan! Now then, to start us off, we'll be handing out samples of Maximum Energy. Also available today are handshakes, convos, photos, and hugs with your favorite racing champions. And remember, with them, there are no limits. May all of our fans enjoy themselves today to the maximum. What? No limits? Nobody said there'd be no limits. Oh, don't worry. Your manager's already given us the okay. That's not the problem here. I'm a little surprised myself, but come on, Maxim. Let's do it for the fans. You're just going along with all this? Oh my gosh, Maxim, sign my sleeve, please. Alright. Guess that's not so bad. The success of Perfect Driver Zero and Maximum Energy is counting on you, my angel. I'll make sure to cheer you on at your next race, Aslan. Thanks, that really means a lot. I'll prove once and for all that I can and will win the Grand Prix. Make sure to come by the circuit when you have time, alright? Yes, it's Maxim and Aslan, I swear. They even said we could hug them. Nuh-uh, I'm like their biggest fan. I'm on my... Who? Huh? Hey, can you hear me? Man, this thing's really been acting up lately, and I just got the newest model, too. Huh? Me next! Settle down. There's still plenty of me to go around, and samples too, of course. Hey, don't you think all this flirting you're doing is a little unfair to Paulette? Thought you were trying to get back together with her. What? You're those kids from Vans. Oh, you guys friends? Friends is a strong word. Oh, I know you. You're the dorkwad with the hot rod. Hello, Maxim. Dorkwad. Sorry, remind me who you are again. Oh, that's right. Guess I only ever saw you when I was in the fairy form, huh? Well, don't worry about it. It's kind of a long story. You can't just drop that on me and not explain. Can I shake your hand, Maxim? Anyways, sorry to cut this short, but I'm a little busy at the moment. I can give you a quick autograph if you want. I'll even throw in a free smooch mark as a courtesy to the Friends of Arkride. I think we're good, actually. You sure? Could probably make a fortune off of it if we wanted to. No, Nadia. Come now, children. Time to leave the man be. The champion of the Z1 Grand Prix and its runner-up. I thought I'd heard their names before. Damn, being a celebrity looks like a living hell. Surprised to hear you guys know each other, to be honest. One of Van's acquaintances introduced us back in the spring. Had so much fun bullying the guy. He's so easy to rile up. Oh, and there's this whole deal with the mom and daughter duo from Montmartre too. Montmartre's the bistro right below Arkride's, right? That must make for an interesting living situation. Man, would love to check out Edith myself someday. Yeah, I want to see the Z1 in person. You should come along too, Rufus. Perhaps. I suppose a trip to the capital would give us a chance to settle our debt with Arkride.
Hey, Kevin. Doing your rounds for today's investigation, huh?
Jack and Hallie, did you...
Yep. Got everything you asked for. Meet us by the station entrance, all right? We'll chat there.
Nice. We'll head over in a few. Must be about the stuff you asked for yesterday. Shall we then? Nah, there's no rush. Way I see it, we got plenty of time to spare. Additional connection events are now available in Kevin's route. So, just like usual, we can go ahead and view events with Rufus, Swin, or Nadia. Probably do Rufus. Oh, that's a tough one, man. I'll probably do Rufus and Swin, just because Nadia is just a not as good Kevin. But let's go ahead and keep heading on over here, so that way we can go grab our new equipment. And well, let me rephrase that. She actually might be a lot better Kevin, but I don't care. I like Kevin. This isn't.
How can I
Okay, this is the weapons. Perfect. We'll go ahead and pick up all the gifts, and then we'll grab all the new weapons for our characters here. Want to be a little bit careful because I'll need to come back here later, and since we have to use all of them in this chapter, we will of course just grab the best things we can. What do we got here? A Mirage Robe increases evasion, but it's not as good. I think this might just be better. Yeah, significantly better. Go ahead and give that to you. Give it to you. And then do I have anything that would increase Swin's evasion? The Mirage Robe would. But this just increases our damage, so I think we'll just go with that route. And then for boots, all we got are the ceramic cleats, so let's go ahead and just purchase that for everybody real quick. And then we'll upgrade our equipment and be good to go. That's everything there. Let's go ahead and customize. It is using U material pluses, so I want to go too crazy. This will probably be the last time we have to upgrade everyone's equipment, because we are very quickly coming to the point where all of our characters will meet up. There we go. We're all set to go. Let's go ahead and quickly hand over the gifts that we have. Give this one over to just for Van. Awesome. Well, Van's SCLM and Blitz chain effect is plus 10% now. Then we have one for Kevin that he's giving himself. And finally, hand over one to Rufus. Perfect. Now, let's go ahead and check out our achievements. We have a new EP charge, and we can head on back over to the Cultural District just because we will be starting over here. And we will start over at... Wow, there really is no good place. I guess we'll just go to the Cultural District because we're going to be running all the way over to the other side. Was the Tharbad Temple an option? I don't know. We'll be heading all the way over to the other side to get to the portal. All right, here we are. Let's head on into the Garten. So we won't be completing the Garten right off the bat here. Let's go ahead and... Well, we need to do one thing. So let's go ahead... Conquer the Garden should be fine. We're not really going to get any levels from this. So all we're going to do is we're going to hop into our very first one. Then we're going to leave as soon as we're done with this. Well, actually, I need to defeat Palms, right? Nope, I'm done with Palms. So I literally just need buff tiles. Let's grab this one. And then we'll go ahead and step over to this one. So all we have to do is activate 4 devices. And then we're just going to hop in here, grab our memento orb, clear the floor. And then I'm just going to go pick up 5 more buff tiles until we've finished it up, so that way we can go get our S rank. So we'll go ahead and hop in. I'm just going to swap over to green because it doesn't matter. All we're doing is activating these devices. I don't even need to worry about fighting anything because we are probably as strong as we can be. I think we're actually stronger than the enemies here at this point, so there really is no reason to fight anything. There's our next thing to activate. And then... we have to teleport back, unfortunately, because I didn't hit the one device that was back at the spawn. So I thought we were going to have plenty of... Oh, no, never mind. There's one right here we can grab. So let's go ahead. We'll activate this first, because I think our way back was actually the other direction. So there's all the devices activated. Gets us an exit portal. And then we'll go ahead and just run over here. Grab our next memento orb. Memento orb 6. Again, if you did Kevin's route first, then you would have got 5 on Kevin and 6 on Van. But we did not. So with that, we're just going to go ahead and hop on out of here. And I'm going to just get a bunch of buff tiles so we can get the S rank. So I'll see you guys here in a second. I'm only showing this off because this area is so bright. I don't know why. I went through one of the blue doors instead of the purple doors. Yeah, this is such a bright blue. I was actually caught off guard and thought it was my screen going out for a second. But, yep, just want to show that off. There we go. That is the boss defeated. Meaning, we cleared it with the bonus objectives as well. But more importantly, that is an S rank. Van's the MVP.
No hard feeling.
And there we go. There's another S rank domain, meaning we never have to come back again. Now, before we end things off, let's go ahead and head to the Sanctum real quick. And by, of course, end things off, I mean before we're done here in the Garten. We're going to fully explore the 2 districts and collect all of our new items per usual. But we do have that new Memento Orb, so let's go ahead. We get Hidden Vein, 7th plus 50% upon defeating an enemy in command battle. But we have a new Memento Orb. Let's go ahead and view it. Ancient Statue Retrieval Mission. Oh, this is going to be so cool if it's voiced. It looks like Kevin and I forgot his name. I want to say it's Lysander, but I could be wrong. I think it starts with an L, though. It's about the Dominions for sure. It is the year 1199 of the Septian calendar. The Gralsritter, a clandestine organization within the Septian Church's Congregation for the Sacraments, has been given a rather unusual mission. 12 of their number with special powers, the Dominions, were given command of nearly 1,000 knights to retrieve certain ancient artifacts. But although the troops were provided for use by all the Dominions, 2 eschewed any knights or squires and set out on their own. The 2 in question were the 2nd Dominion and the 5th Dominion. One, a man in his mid-20s who'd recently been appointed vice commander. The other, a young man of 18 who'd been in this role just over a year.
My word. Isn't it simply exquisite?
That's so cool that he's voiced here, too.
It would appear to be from the age of animism, well before even the Great Collapse. And the fact that no diagnostic device can even begin to analyze it. Oh my, it's just so fascinating. I'm practically giddy.
There he goes again. Once he gets started, nothing can shut this guy up. Anyway, seems like this one's different from the statue over in Nord, yeah? That one was a lot bigger, but it didn't seem like it had anything inside.
Very true. Even when we scanned it, it didn't appear to have anything to hide. However, I actually found the fact that there was nothing there to be rather suspicious in and of itself. Incidentally, there's another statue about the same size on an uninhabited island off the coast of Ordis.
Yeah, I've heard about that one. Never seen it for myself, though. Either way, I guess that means there's definitely some difference between this one and the 2 of those. Given that this one's impossible to analyze, well, it's just like an artifact in that regard.
Indeed. However, despite that, it still doesn't neatly fit the definition of an artifact. This Titan may have completed its objective, or perhaps was unable to complete it and then simply fell dormant. It really makes the heart stir to imagine all the exciting possibilities, doesn't it?
Well, looking at the thing, it does seem like it might have been quite the sight back in its prime. I definitely would have killed for a toy like this when I was a kid. Seriously, though, what the heck is this thing? The villagers nearby seem to revere it, though. How'd you get them to agree to let us take it?
Easily enough. The local vicar helped me convince everyone that we'll be taking very good care of it. I was glad to find him a very reasonable man. Pointless interchurch disagreements are, unfortunately, all too common in our line of work.
You could say that again. I've lost count on how many times I've wished the Congregation for Divine Worship would just let us do our jobs already. But all that aside, they made the right call to have us take care of it once things started to get suspicious here. It also lowers the risk of these cult freaks getting their grubby hands on it, since apparently they don't know when to quit.
So, it's the heretic hunter and the partitioner. You took our brethren from us, and we're going to avenge them right here, right now.
And then the statue will be ours. Maybe it'll even grant us the power to bring down the goddess.
Getting a bit ahead of yourself there, don't you think, pal?
I'd certainly say so. Well then, how about we take care of our secondary mission while we have the opportunity? Completing last year's eradication operation by eliminating the remnants of the DG cult.
Don't gotta tell me twice.
Better not underestimate us. Bow down before true wisdom.
Ancient statue retrieval finished. That was pretty cool. And we get some new materials for viewing 6 memento orbs. And that's about it for here inside the Garten, so let's go ahead and head on out. We got a little bit of exploring to do back here in Tharbad. So, let's go ahead and start with all the shards all over the place. Got some Grim tokens there. And then we'll go ahead and head over to the guild next and just hope we don't have to, well, we got to go in here eventually, so we might as well just go in here now because we will have to get the shards from in here. So they were rescued from the sandstorm, yes? That's right. Saved by the people I was just talking about, too. Well, speak of the devil. Sorry to interrupt. Ishmael here was just telling me how you all helped that merchant caravan in the desert. But I won't bother you about the details right now. After all, it looks like you have business with us today. Your haste is appreciated. You're asking if Professor Hamilton was in Tharbad last October? No, not that I'm aware of, after all. She was in the east around then, was she not? And after leaving from here, I heard she went straight back home to Basel. When someone as important as the professor comes to Tharbad, it's usually all people can talk about. So even if the guild didn't know, that means she probably came in secret. And is that so? You know, I actually heard there was a bit of trouble with the city's water source around the same time. We were told the professor came all the way out here to fix it, but if you're saying otherwise, maybe we're on the wrong track. Perhaps we should look into whether or not there were any other strange happenings or incidents in October. That wasn't long after the film festival ended, right? Does anything come to mind? Actually, I think that was about the same time the Institute of Science notified us of an analysis they conducted on the plant we found. Plant? Do you mean... agave. The type used to make the drugs distributed during the film festival, right? Yes, the Guild's Tharbad branch and the Institute of Science were collaborating on a joint investigation on the matter. For a while, we were sending them status updates on those who had taken the drug during the festival, as well as any residual evidence we collected. They even joined their field researchers on a trip to the cave where agave was growing in mass. However, the data was collected there ended up being insufficient, given that there weren't any agave clusters outside the cave to compare to. Yes, which is ultimately why the collaboration continued into late October. But unfortunately, before we could make any further progress on the investigation, the Institute informed us they would be bringing it to a close. Because they'd already finished their analysis of the evidence? Well, they did manage to learn a lot about the drug itself. They even shared a list of its components with us. We're at a loss on some of the other important details, like what the agave's preferred habitat is, or whether there are any related species. We suggested to the Institute that we get those questions answered before any others at the start of the investigation, but they told us that they analyzed the drug's core components, took priority, considering the danger it posed. So they continue with the ecological investigation after the component analysis was finished. It's strange they'd have such a sudden change of heart. Someone with authority at the Institute must have ordered them to bring the investigation to a halt. Someone like... That's concerning. Well, at any rate, I think now we've got a better idea of what was going on back then. Thanks for answering all those questions for us. Yes, thank you. And now we can grab the shards that should be up here. There we go. Some more Grim tokens. And then we'll go ahead, leave here. We're just going to head across this way where we should find some tokens up here in the corner. 2 more tokens for us to grab. One will be over here in the inn area. Right here, right in front of us. And the final one, right here in the corner. And that is all of the shards for this area. So let's go ahead and grab all the different items we have, shall we? There's actually not much for us to grab right now, but we can come over here to grab the saffron biscuit.
Thank you very much.
And then we can come over here to grab the classic scarf. And with the classic scarf in hand, we should now be able to trade for the... Oh. Can I... The vintage... Oh, someone has a vintage ring equipped. Oh my gosh. That actually scared me for a second. I was like, no, I've definitely got them all. Well, this is where we could have a little bit of fun trying to figure out who is holding on to it. And I think I actually might have to go into... No, I can do it right here. Who's got my vintage ring? Wait, actually, There we go. I was like, uh-oh, I can't find it anywhere. Let's remove that. And then let's go ahead and just give Kevin a gladiator headband. Just so that way someone else can have one. We'll take it away from Marine just because we don't need it right now. And there we go. Now we can go ahead and trade for the Regalia Cloak. Huge evasion, or arts evasion rather. I think that there might be another high evasion one, but either way, that's a really good item to have. So we'll go ahead and pick that up. And then we can go ahead and just head up here where we'll have another little main mission objective anyways, but this will be the final thing we need to buy. The Soul Chef egg dishes and rich chai pudding. And that is everything we can purchase right now. So let's see what we can make here. At this point, it doesn't even matter if we can make stuff we just picked up. It honestly is just like, let's just make whatever we can, whenever we can. Because, we gotta get the Prime Beast stuff. It's fine because we can grind it now.
Give it a try.
We just need to be careful of what we're using. Okay, that looks like that's all of the... We'll grab the egg dishes real quick. Can I make that? No, I need eggs. That's it? I just need eggs? Can I buy that from somewhere around here? Well, I mean, I know I can buy it back in the Garten. So maybe we'll just hold off.
Why, thank you.
Since I don't know who else around here would sell it. Oh, well, right here. Never mind. I need 10, 11 eggs. Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Now, go ahead and make that fresh egg dish. I think this is the first time in a while we've actually had everything cooked. So let's go ahead and just quickly eat all this. We should hit 25. Perfect. 500 HP to the entire party. There we go. Now, while we're here, we'll just go ahead and progress the main story in this location before we move on over back to the entertainment district. Oh, it's you folks. Appreciate what you did for us earlier. You're from the caravan we met this morning, right? Feeling any better? Thanks to those drinks you gave us, we are. We were in some pretty bad shape over there. It's like you gave us a second lease on life. I'm sure you'd have done the same if you were in our shoes. Your camels outside looked like they were doing better too. There's no need for thanks. After all, I think our encounter proved beneficial to both parties. Yeah, never would have learned about that irrigation project without you guys. Well, after we heard you were putting together a Sunday school lesson on it, kind of felt like we had a duty to tell you. Should give us something to brag about to my son, at least. He'll be starting his first few classes back at home soon. I know it's already said and done, but is it really all right for a priest to lie like this? Not like he's the most respectable man of the cloth. Well, I can't say the goddess is a fan, but she'll let it slide. Anyway, not every day you see experienced merchants getting hit by a sandstorm. Didn't even think they'd be in an issue today, what with yesterday's downpour and all. Yeah, we're thinking the sand sea dried up faster than we expected. Desert's a big place after all. Then there was the fact that the sandstorm came from the direction not typically on our radar. Is that so? What do you mean? See, given the conditions are right, some areas of the sand sea make the perfect breeding grounds for sandstorms. So when we're planning our routes, we try our best to avoid those areas. The only issue is, the sandstorms have been growing more robust by the day. All that heavy rain yesterday really threw off our measurements, which obviously enough led us to some misjudging where the sandstorm would hit. Sounds like you all were lucky to make it out alive. Well, I'll be praying that your next trip's a safe one, all right? Though, can't say run-of-the-mill priest's prayers will be worth very much. Well, we appreciate it anyway. We'll try to be more careful in the future. Lost a lot of goods out there today. It's crazy how all your main characters can just recognize when a person's a Dominion by being like, oh, you wear a fancy cloth for a priest. You must be one of those Gralsritter. And then everyone else is like, oh, a priest? Okay. Oh, this is... It would make sense considering the direction they gave us. Sorry, what are you talking about? This is where Hina and Sarah live. Something they mentioned while we were in the hammam. Yep, they said we could drop by whenever we wanted. I see. Well, since we're already here, why don't we go ahead and say hello? That sounds like a fun idea, though I'm not sure they're back from the hammam yet.
Wait, am I hearing things or... It was you guys! I thought I heard your voices. Making good on our invitation, are you? Well, come on in!
Such a warm welcome. Thanks, Ina. I hope we're not a bother. Remember to behave yourselves, you two.
Please, there's no need to worry. Just make yourselves at home, all right? Sorry there's not much room. Oh, and why don't I make you all some cold drinks?
Mmm, so tasty. You said it. Bet it's made with all sorts of fancy fruits and spices, huh? Whatever it is, it definitely helps beat the heat. Man, this stuff's fantastic. It's a homemade recipe? Yep, it's one of the Central East classic summer staples called Sharbat. My sister's the one who whipped all these up, but I can make them too. I actually used a recipe my mother taught me. They're a lifesaver when dancing in the hot summer heat. I see. Families always got each other's backs one way or another, huh? If I recall correctly, your parents have passed away, no? Mm-hmm. When I was still just a kid, too. I don't really remember much about them, honestly, but Sarah's a different story. I'm just thankful I've managed to hold on tight to what they passed down to me, even in spite of all we've gone through. But I couldn't have done that without Van and the rest of Arkwright Solutions. Oh, she's got it bad, huh? Yep. No, you gotta admit, being in love's a good look on her. Just makes her all the more adorable. Shahina. Arkwright just has all the luck in the world, doesn't he? Don't know if I'd call it luck, really. His personality kind of just reels you in, and he starts helping you with things, and... Are you going to finish that, Kevin? I'm still working on it! I'd heard you two had been traveling for business recently, but your house is unexpectedly tidy. Did you perhaps hire a cleaning service of some sort? Huh? No way. Our neighbors just insist on house sitting for us while we're gone. They've really done a lot for us over the years. We always got to bring back a bunch of souvenirs to repay them. But it's always fun picking out something for them. Living here truly is wonderful. It's home in all the ways you can imagine. Guess that means that homecoming show of yours is going to be a real sensation then. You bet. We're going to give it the best we've got. Wish Fairy, Agnes, and Van could come see it too, though. That would be nice, having Judith and everyone else there. Perhaps even the professor as well. Huh? By the professor, do you mean... Alrighty then, we shouldn't overstay our welcome, now should we? Come on, time to pack it up, kiddos. After all, we gotta let these two get to practicing for their big show. You'll be rehearsing later, right? Oh, yep, right by the Oasis. It won't be a proper performance, of course, but if you're interested, you're more than welcome to watch. Plus, knowing that friends of Van's are in attendance will give us just the push we need to perfect our routines. Got it. We'll definitely be there then. Take care of yourselves, you two. The temperature is expected to rise in the afternoon. Hey, Rapscallion, why'd you pull us out of there? I think we stumbled into information on his target. That's right. But we can't just go diving into that info without a plan now, can we? On a separate note, you two have been through Arkwright Solutions case files, right? Ever find anything that could connect the sisters to our person of interest? No, we didn't. All we know is that Van and the others helped them deal with the incident here in Tharbad, while she went to the east after the incident in Basel. Additionally, however, during the anomaly which occurred in Edith last December, Sarah and Shahina were said to have been in the capital, meaning they very well may have had the chance to establish a bond with your target. Though I suppose they could have met during the events that you and Swin were involved in as well. Putting aside how you just happen to know all that, I'm not really seeing any solid connections, Onionator. That must mean we're missing a piece of the puzzle then, a piece that even Van and the others are unaware of. And I believe the answers may lie with Dingo. Sounds about right, though I'm gonna argue that our main concern at the moment should be the presence of the princess. No use jumping the gun just yet. Let's just go watch the girls' practice performance, and after we can start looking into things. Awfully cunning of you. Roger Dodger. But you know, Kevin, I'm starting to get the feeling this villain bit of yours isn't really an act after all. Ha, you got me. Kevin, cunning? I'd say that describes you far more than it does him, Rufus. Yes, well, though my cunning is born from my inherently wicked nature, I'm not quite so sure Kevin's as heartless as he portrays himself to be. And so that's it in this area. So next we'll go ahead and head on over back to the entertainment district. So we have quite a bit of shards to collect here. So let's go ahead and start by running down this way. On top of that, we also just have a lot of events to view here. We're going to try to get through at least all the story events up to the point of no return event in this episode. But there is quite a lot for us to collect. So this time around, we're just going to be collecting as we run through here. Unfortunately, nothing here at the little stand there. But right back here are some shards. I believe these are the exact same spots that they were in back in... I want to make sure we're going to the right place. Yeah. I believe they're in the exact same spot that they were back in the first time we were here. Right up here, we can head into the casino, where we can actually see that we can get the white Auget cameo. Let's go ahead and pick that up. And then I believe the shards were... I can't remember. They were in a corner up here. We can talk to the bartender, grab a Soul Chef raisins.
I hope to see you again.
And then I think, yep, right here are the shards. And we'll go ahead and go back outside. And that should be it for this corner. So now we'll go ahead and head back over to the this area. We got some shards right here. And there should be some shards tucked back here by the movie theater. There will, of course, be more movies we can watch in this route, but we're going to hold off on doing that for now. Daily Tharbat, as well as the Rich Malfita. Nothing else for us here. Then over here at the Orbment Shop, I believe it has new...
Thank you very much.
items for us. Yeah, the Silver Cross Choker or Swin. We'll go ahead and leave out of here. And then down here at the corner will be some shards for us. We'll go ahead and grab the Soul Chef Chocolate and the Super Sweet Mango Gelato.
Thanks a bunch. Let's do a
It should be, yep, right here. And we'll come back for that event right there here in a second. We can grab the Esmelis Moose. And let's go ahead and run over here. And I believe... actually, all the stuff we can purchase for now. So, let's go ahead and grab these shards before we go inside. Because we'll have an event as soon as we enter. Yeah, Aljamira. Always makes me feel like I've stepped into another dimension. So this is where Mariella and the princess are staying. Yep, they said they'd be coming back here once they were finished at the hammam. You have a meeting with someone, I think. And since they so kindly invited us to stop by whenever so we please, I doubt they'll mind a quick hello. Considering the group within almost certainty possess the information we seek, we should be sure to have all our cards in hand before making our approach, no? You're probably right. After all, I heard the princess got a pretty keen eye. Seeing as Elsheim owes Professor Hamilton so much, well, personally, I just want to see if we can get the princess to spill the beans without her catching on to us. Here's hoping. You know, I don't think we've got ourselves together just yet. Yeah, we still haven't even heard from Jack and Hallie. Plus, we should probably do a little more digging around here, don't you think? Does that mean I just can't go into the hotel? Well, that sucks. Okay, well, we will be able to come back, I promise. But we might just hold off till next episode. We'll see. We'll see how long this event takes us, because this is Jack and Hallie. You came. Sorry to call you guys all the way here. It was no big deal. Just wondering why you asked to meet us at a train station of all places. Leaving Tharbat, are you? That's right. Finished up what I was doing here for the client of mine, so now I'm off. Specifically to somewhere around the capital. Anyway, sorry to do this on our way out, but we've got our info on that request you made yesterday. And the thing you asked about at the club. So you two ran into each other, huh? Bet that must have been a hoot. Why were you talking business in a strip club? Because dirty old men will be dirty old men. I'm not old. Oh, come on. You're not even that much younger than I am. We could be siblings. Why does being referred to as old bother you so much? Perhaps because our friend here is on the cusp of what they call a midlife crisis. Look who's talking, Mr. 32. Whoa, can't believe you guys actually found anything. Rumors, gossip, whispers on the wind. That's what you were talking about. That's what you were asking around about, right? Along with some stuff about Vegas Films and their little festival last year. Yeah. There was one story that stuck out to me in particular, though, and it just so happens to be about a certain irrigation project. Does this story involve so-called hocus pocus? In a way, yeah. See, according to our sources, Professor Hamilton came to Tharbad with a bunch of laborers 20 years ago to take a look at the oasis. Apparently, they were able to determine pretty quickly what was causing it to dry up. So they managed to pinpoint the source of the problem to somewhere out in the desert. Before anyone knew it, there was water in the oasis again. It was like there was never a problem in the first place. Everyone we talked to was at the site 20 years ago, and they all said the same exact thing. It was like magic. Magic, huh? So we were right to ask about hocus pocus. But aren't there people in the Empire who can use magic? Indeed there are. Witches, they're called. I'm unsure if the professor shares their blood, however. Doubt it, though I'm not surprised witnessing a miracle like that had people wondering. Especially not when nobody seems to know how she pulled it off. Apparently, the professor comes back to check on the oasis status pretty regularly. We weren't able to find anyone who could say there's been a maintenance workers or other laborers heading into the desert recently. Honestly, it felt like the more we looked into her and what she was doing, the more interesting things got. Thanks, guys. Can't believe how much you were able to find in a single night. This stuff should give us a better perspective on what exactly Arkwright was dealing with in Tharbad last year, too. Well, you weren't the only one who lucked out here. Also found a few extra tidbits of info for ourselves. Should make a nice souvenir for a friend of ours. Anyway, think that date'll give you enough to work off for now? So you can find your target, I mean? Figured you two would put the pieces together. Doesn't sound like you're too sure on the details just yet, though. Guessing you stopped before you could get the full picture. Both for your sake and ours. After all, you would have dragged us right into this mess of yours if we hadn't. Or am I wrong? Would you have? Well, what can I say? Always nice to have a good source of information on your side. Plus, it's not like I wouldn't have upped your pay, for crawling through the mud with us. It wouldn't have been enough. Not by a long shot. Look, Kevin, we know you. You'll be all gung-ho about getting the job done one second, and filled with regret the next. And frankly, even if we were to help, watching your sad mug mope around for a few weeks doesn't sound like my idea of a good time. Which is why, this go-round, we're giving you the info you paid for and leaving it at that. Sure. Anyway, looks like it's about time we got going. See you around, Kevin. Try not to be too reckless, alright? If not for your own good, for the girls. Got it. You guys be careful, too. They gave us a lot of good intel. No kidding. Guess they call them pros for a reason. By the way, Jack said he had something to take care of somewhere around the capital, right? Wonder what he was talking about. Wasn't our place to ask about that, or the friend they're giving their little souvenir to. Man, having connections can be a real pain in the ass sometimes, huh? They seemed kind of worried about you, Kevin. It seems the threads of fate truly do entwine us all. At any rate, the information we received will be useful indeed. We should be able to use it to continue our investigation. Good grief. Alright, I think we should be good now. Especially with all the intel we got. I think it's about time we head for the Algemira. I suppose that means you believe we finally have our cards in hand. Alright, let's head over once we finished with our other business. Well, guess it's a good reason we didn't go over there just yet, because as they said, we gotta finish with our other business first, meaning we got some 4 SPGs to do. But we're gonna go ahead and save those for the next episode. I will see you guys then.